Hoi hoi! What's up, everybody? Mike Worth here. Today we're going to be doing some cactus practice in Procreate. And what's up, y'all? I'm here. We got some tunes with us today. We got the pretzel radio going. You know, it's free music, free streams, really cool. I think it'll help us set this up. So, all right, we're picking up where we left off. This is a little drawing that I'm working on here, a little cactus practice, a little layout here of like what's going on. And I'm playing with the horizon line with this. And I drew a horizon line. I marked it off in the center. And I know just from composing and learning perspective, right, that the middle is where you put the horizon line the first time you do it. And from there you learn that like images need to be more complex and more appealing and have more diversity in them. So putting the horizon line below or above is a really great move. So we did that here. We put it below, and it's nice. It gave these two cacti a little bit of height, a little bit of something to stand up for here. And they're going to be in this starry night kind of composition here. I'm really excited about that. I think that'll work out real nice. And yeah, so we're going to get started here and see what we can come up with. So, all right, I started already sketching out. Oop, I don't want to erase those. Started already sketching out, the arms of the cacti and erasing like just the lines I don't want to use anymore. And that's really the name of the game still, is just making sure I'm doing like a good cleanup. And yeah, that's part of the whole game. And what I love about using the computer and using this is that like it really lets you, focus on, some of the fun, but like the important parts of your drawing. Is that like you don't have to. You can pick the lines you want to have, right? It's like I want to work on that. There we go. So much better. So much better. Right, this one got like chewed up by a dog, and I don't know what happened to that one. So that's a much better arm line than the other one. So you got to draw the wrong lines first before you see the right ones. That is true. Okay, cool. So, all right. I had some music. I lost it. It did not work out. We'll have to figure out other ways to get some tunes up in the scene as we're oh, there we go. All right, maybe I got it back here. We'll see if that adds to the flavor here. So yeah, we're gonna draw a little bit. There we go. Get that going. What's up? All right, so we got the saguaro on the left and then the prickly pear on the right, and that's good. That's like, I'm feeling good about that. And yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll add some cloud action to this. We'll get some fun stars in the sky going on here. Oh yeah, it's getting deep. This feels like the 90s with these jams. Let's see. All right, and then like one over here. And I'm just giving myself like a little guide here of like where stuff's gonna go. Yeah, we'll put one like right. Oh no, it's too much in line. I try to never have them be like in line. I like to have them be off kilter a little bit. Yeah, what do we do? One right here. Sweet, we'll have it like emanate off that one. Yeah, it's a little tangential, but it's all right. I've been playing with that somewhat, and I know also at the same time I've been really focusing on avoiding tangents unless I want to use them for effect. Like that's a thing you want to do. Then it's got to be for good purpose. All right, cool. Nice. So this is going to be like the sketch that helps me understand like where to go with things, how to set up Flowfields and all that and everything. And yeah, I like that. So here's what we're going to start to do. First and foremost is you got to understand is that we are working in let's see, a high-res canvas, right? So you can see here that like these elements are 300 DPI and it's a 24 by 18. So I'm going for that target size to be nice and high res, right? So it really does a good job. So Reason being is my goal at the end of this is to get this onto a piece of canvas and put it on my website, up on my shop for sale, for y'all to grab one. And it's, you know, this is cactus practice. We're always practicing. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so with that said, we can only do a maximum of 2 layers, right? Watch, it says maximum layers reached, and it went away fast. What that means is Procreate uses like the layer spaces, like the way you can stack layers, as a way to kind of say, hey, to gain resolution, right? Like there's a finite amount of pixels that the iPad can access, so it's either going to distribute it in a stack in layers or in actual dimensionality. So like flat 2D, you know, big broad grid. And that's what I want here, is a big flat broad grid that's going to print beautifully, right? But in order to do that, I have to take up so many of those other layer spaces that would have gone kind of dimensionally that way. And that's all right. So with that, what it makes me do is it makes me rely more on using selections, on you know, making it so that I can select areas I'd like to paint in and focus on that and make that like what's great. Okay, so all right. So with that said, we're gonna take this layer and put it behind, and we're gonna actually start to paint the flow fields of this. Okay, so what we're gonna look at here is, this is my little toolkit of brushes, and I've got 2 brushes in here specifically that I've made myself, and I guess one day I'll put out, and they're my Flowfield brushes. They're not radically, you know, amazing, but they're so critical to my style and the way that I make work. So it's something that like I need to make sure is happening. And yeah, so I have a Flowfield shader. What it does is it throws all these little like kind of rice kernel drawing pieces that I've done here, and then it just scatters them into a pattern, and that's wonderful because that's going to help us do what we need to do. So let's do this. We're gonna color grab. Let's step out. We're gonna color grab the background, and then what we're gonna do is go to the wheel. I'm using this wheel right here. I'm gonna slide up some, not much, but some. Okay, and a couple of values higher, a couple of percentage shadings or tints higher. And then we'll see, yeah, there we go. All right, awesome. So we have Flowfield brush like in the mix here, okay? So what we gotta do in this case is, now that we have all this stuff laid out, is we're gonna paint the Flowfield in the background, and that Flowfield's gonna like surround all these elements. So my work is all about taking everyday objects, things you see here, there, and everywhere, and then using this style to make them magical, to seem like they're living, vibrating, buzzing. So much like Fauvists, Pointillists, Impressionists, Expressionists did 100 some odd years ago, right? But that hasn't changed, right? Adding movement to art, adding motion, creating life and vigor. We are in that business, all of us together, okay? That is amazing, all right? So we're gonna start the process again, and let's see, I'm trying to get some music back on here so we can maybe hear some stuff. We'll see. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to start first with these little spirals. So where I added the spirals are going to be where I have stars. So I'm going to then want to take that and make just some circle Flowfield spirals themselves, right? Laying down some pattern and making sure. All right, and I'm going to paint again on top of this. What I'm doing is I'm like underpainting right now. And because of digital technology, right, all I have to do is rearrange the position of layers, and I can stack a drawing on top of a high production space, which is this, where I'm going to be laying down all this color and everything like that. So, all right, getting this going, laying down all the Flowfields in the space. There we are. Good, good, good. Okay, and then we got to include the moon as well. And then this pink drawing is going to go away soon, right? Because it's taking up layer space. I have to work with the layer elements like when I need them, as I need them. And right now that is taking up some valuable space. It was critical to the process, but not to the final drawing, if you dig me. Okay. All right, cool. And you can see there, like that's now the Flowfield pattern. If I turn off this top layer, you can see like that's what I got so far, is that like those elements that I identified are now laid in, right? Okay, let's turn that back up and on. Okay, and then now I'm going to start to think about like how I make these things now really have like the power of the circle. I'm not just going to make more circle around. I'm going to create the flow fields as they are now like radial bursting things. So the way I got to do that is to literally come up to the edge of one and then create a perpendicular line, like ray lines that extend out. And I just treat it like it's a sun, right? Like, yes, it is a star. So I'm trying to already with motion, and then I can interconnect them. It's pretty amazing. Oh, I'll just put one here. Yeah, you know, I'll just break my own thing. No problem. But this is what happens. This is how this gets organically done. Is I'm then able to flow this way. All right, and I want to say also is like I haven't really set much up for the bottom, right? Like what I'm going to be doing with that. So I think it'd be really really important to kind of help differentiate the ground from the sky. So I'm going to actually undo that last stroke there that went below. And then what I'm going to say is I'm actually going to make these like oblate flattened spheres, right? And even thinking about how that will encompass the base of these cacti. And really, I want this flow field to be like everything about this image, you know, that like it supports every part of what it is that I'm doing in this space, right? The form, the movement, the shape, the volume, like the dimension, the detail. Yeah, and like right now by using flat elements in here, right, I'm laying out effectively perspective, right? Like I'm using these dots to kind of lay about the land. Like, oh, I don't like that at all, actually. Yeah, there we go. Much better. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm gonna put in, I'm not gonna go too big on these. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do that. That one's far away. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna then make meandering things, but like notice I'm keeping all my circles like the same flatness, right? All the curves are matching the lower kind of more spring, like an engaged spring like type of a thing. I'm flattening all that, and the reason I want to do that is so I can create then the perspective going into space. I've done this a couple times, but like I want to challenge myself to like get it so it looks great, you know, like I don't know how else to say it, but okay, good. Okay. Yeah, and I'm not worried about going behind that cactus because I'm going to paint like a fill shape on top of it, and that's going to help me establish like the way that will be in front. So yeah. All right, I'm liking these tunes that we got going on here. I'm so excited to have the pretzel radio happening, right? Free streams for streamers. So that's dope. It was getting a little boring in here with just me, and when I get into my drawing and I stop talking for a second and I don't do my Bob Ross whooshes in the microphone, it's not so awesome, the stream. I was a little bit bored of myself watching it back. So yeah, I treated it like a fight film. I was like, all right, what did I do in the first round that was really good? Okay, that's good. And then so on and so forth. I just kept going, oh man, I need music. I was like, how am I going to get some music in here? Because there's so much copyright stuff out there, and I thought there's got to be something. And yeah, there's a bunch of services, including this pretzel. So today I'm checking out pretzel. I wanted to see like how that one would treat me. So if you're listening, you like the tunes, hope you hear them all right? Our audio engineer is on vacation. Pretty cool. Some dreamy synth stuff. All right, well, let me get back to up here because this is a two-dimensional, just kind of flat Flowfield system that I have up here. So I have two. I'm letting the horizon line define a squashed Flowfield system on the bottom, and then a more like elongated one on the top. And that's really the goal and the mission with this. And then, yeah, I'm just going to let this crash perpendicular, like these lines, into the horizon line like that, just so it differentiates. That's what I really want to have happen. So like, this is almost like an optical illusion, like Bridget Riley would do, where she would create the horizon line by the ascending elements. That's like always a wonderful thing about abstract art, is like when it creates new ways to see reality and appreciate the illusion that we're all responsible for weaving all the time, right? The illusion of art. We all agree on what that is. I know it's a little deep, but you know, we tend to say, oh, that has perspective, or it doesn't, right? Like, what are the observable characteristics and qualities to what it is that you're doing, right? You should be able to show us the magic. Yeah, and that's how you get better at it, right? It's like get a little feedback, get a little critique. Cool. So we are laying in this. It seems like this pretzel radio gets stuck on a track and then can proceed. And then I guess we'll have to see what the story is. Nah, it's sort of stuck on a... I guess you got to get premium. That's always the way. All right. So filling in the flow field takes a minute, but you can see we're starting to really now, let's turn off that front layer, right? And see what we're starting to end up with here, you know? Just because I did that like layout of things, you can see now like I really am starting to get a break point, and it's showing up just in the patterns. And that is really the magic, right, behind working with the sketch like this is, you know, you can... There's the line. I know exactly where to stop. It's like tape. There we go. Yep, this is where the music comes in handy. Come on, Pretzel Rocks, give us some goodness. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. Let's try it. Okay, I could handle this. Cool. This is taking me back to the 90s, club days. I honestly was gonna like get an 808 drum machine and like just make beats and put them on loop while we did this today. And I thought, man, people are gonna be so mad. They're gonna be like, "What the heck is this thing? This is ridiculous. We're never ever gonna do this." All right, we'll keep this in the foreground here so we can just kind of see what the story is, right, with it. And yeah, I got everything going on here. I got my whole production set. It's pretty cool. Very excited. I hope y'all like the new digs, the new OBS background. I spent a little bit of time just kind of checking out like what's out there and thinking about for myself like what. And I got a fun texture and treated it with a gradient overlay. I went to one of my free texture websites that has commercial use free textures. There's so many out there. Honestly, just a good Google. Go to like Spoon Graphics and things like that. But also, if you want something that's specific and out there and you want to, you find it on Shutterstock or something, or iStock, you know, support another artist and license the image. Don't play with that. right? Because one day someone's going to invent, I'm sure they already have, they're going to invent the Shazam of art, and then that's when the lights come on in the party, and everybody's going to need a lawyer to talk about parody. It's parody, I swear. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is, you know, it's so easy to license an image, and then it's become so easy to forget about it now because of the internet. Even though it says to you like, hey, this is copywritten, as you download it, people just, you know, say, oh, I didn't see it. It's not an excuse. Or I didn't know. Yeah, it's like, yep, it's up to you to learn the law. But it wasn't taught in school. You have to learn it in the outside, right? In the prison yard of the art game. And I'll tell you, it sucks when somebody rips you off too, and then they claim they're just going to keep doing it, and they have a better marketing scheme than you, and that's what they feel is original, and it's like, ugh. So the intellectual property game is rough. So head over to get a Windows computer and head over to Library of Congress and learn how to copyright your art. Like when you make it, you apply for copyright, you know, before you release it, or right when you release it. So that way no one just rips you off, because they will. If they perceive that what you're doing is successful, you know, they're going to adapt their strategy to match what you're doing. And that's, then it just becomes best practice at that point. You know, that's really what that is. So, got to just be careful and educate your fellow artists on the same thing. Let them know like what it is that they should know about their work, you know, about keeping their work safe. Because some artists are like, nah, you know, they're like, who would do it to me? And it's like, when it happens to you, you'll go, oh, that person would. And that's the thing, is that like, those folks don't necessarily think what they're doing is incorrect. And on the one hand, I could see why they think that, or why that might appear to be true, I should say better. But on the other hand, it's, come on, you know, you this whole everything's free unless it's my stuff. Can't do that. It's just taking it. And if you want to appropriate, do it, but do it with intention. You know, like parody is intention. I'm stating that I'm making a joke about this image, or I am commenting on what this image or what this art is also commenting on. And make that clear, you know, like put that in your description and in your, you know, your statement. Like, you still have to write an artist statement. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do too was try and, in this environment, was to not just make it flat circles, but to also make it like stack. So, like that. Like if you, if we create flow fields that like fold into one another. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, looks like ground now. And that's the point. That's what we really want to have happen here. So yeah. All right. So we're doing good. We're doing good. The stream strength is strong. And we are creating this, now the ground, right, the floor of this desert. It's pretty neat. So, little cactus practice this morning. All right. And I've left a couple of holes like where we're not going to see the flow field like behind the stuff, but I'm heading in and I'm cleaning up the areas that are going to definitely have the flow field in it. Here we go. So when these, like, I'm trying to make these appear like crashing waves somewhat, you know, Van Gogh very much did this. And yeah, ooh, this is fun. Sweet. All right, here, let's watch a very soothing time lapse. Stacked. I'm gonna get a coffee break real quick. Coffee. Look at all those flow fields. We've done so much already in the short time that we've been rocking here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Really cool. And this will bring us up to now. Right? All right. So, continuing now, like, to work off of this sketch, you know, we've pretty much now mapped out, like, where the major areas are. So, like, if I turn that off, you can see everything in here except for the cacti. Okay. So, what we want to do is this. All right. Because we only get 2 layers, it's a little scary. We're going to go to this top layer here. Let's turn it on for a sec, because we're going to get rid of this soon anyway. All right. And then the cacti. Let's make the cacti like oxblood red. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, that's nice. So the dark red on top of the dark blue is going to look really, really interesting. All right, let's get this brush. Oh, that's a flow field brush. That's not what I need. I need my everyday round brush. We'll make that big. All right, and I'm painting in here now. Like, I wanna actually come in here and cover that pink. Okay, here we go. This is funky. We're putting hot red over okay, we're gonna deal with that bottom soon. Don't you worry. Cool. All right, that one's done. And then why don't we make this one like super dank green? The Sabra, the prickly pear. So, interesting story is that the Sabra, the reason I'm calling it that is because in the Middle East, in Palestine, Israel, Lebanon, this cactus was brought over by folks coming from the Southwest, from the U.S., and it planted really nicely in the desert there and has become a part of the skyline, right? The prickly pear cactus. So it's really interesting that this new world thing lives in the old world. I find that very fascinating. Okay, cool. So you can see there we got the 2 colors. This is funky, really funky. I'm excited where this is headed. So, okay, and then I think we're gonna have to start to let's see what we're gonna do here. Oh, yeah, in the background, we're going to make this happen. We're going to take this freehand element right here, okay, and then I'm going to use it to not do that. I'm going to use it to trace. Wait a minute. No. Here we go. Thank you. It's on now. I'm going to, like, the best I can. I'm going to draw that horizon. I messed up a little bit. I know, I'm sorry. Okay, and then draw like a big surrounding selection like that, right? It's really important that we get that big surrounding aspect to it, all right? Reason is that we want to like use it like a mask. So I'm going to click that, all right? And you can see that all of those like dancing lines there are saying that that stuff's not paintable, but everything below it is certainly paintable. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch this now back to being dark blue, and I'm going to go and use Melaleuca, one of my favorite brushes. It's a Procreate brush, and yeah, it has, if I make it real low transparency, make it really big, I can really simply like kind of paint some shadow in the background, right? To help kind of form up, vignette this space in the front. And like all I'm doing here is like tinting. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do the complete opposite. Wait a minute, let's get the selection back on. Okay, yep, I'm gonna improve this transparency. Yeah, I'm gonna paint this going fadey in the back. Right, not the opposite actually. I'm gonna go. Cool. All right, and then if I let this go now, and I turn off the, well, I gotta get rid of that background too. Okay, I really thought I was gonna use it, but I'm not. Oh, let's see. What I'm doing here is I'm getting rid of, because I'm in 2 layers. I gotta be careful. I don't need this horizon mesa thing no more. Actually, no, I did wanna. Okay, back to here. I got the selection back on. This is what I wanted to do. Sorry, I wanted to then get the color of, let's see, of one of these paint lines here of the flow field. That's what I was very excited about. And then I want to just like give it a slight touch up with the brightness scale, and then same Melaleuca. There it is. Okay, and then I want to be very, very gentle to add a little bit of highlight here. Cool, and maybe even some more. Like not crazy, but crazy, yeah. Oh, oh. Sweet, okay. That's what I wanted, was like to, not too much, but okay. Yeah, so now in the, in this layer, watch, I'll erase the lines now, and we just have a natural ridge line. I don't know if you can see that, but here, because I use the line as a guide, like to act as a stencil, we now have this, because I use the highlight, just the color change there, like with the hard edge. That's the thing, is the hard edge is the important part, like to the utmost, that's intact. You know, soft edge won't cut it. So this is, and I'll fix all that. That's not my worry right now. Yeah, cool. I mean, the desert is like the surface of the moon. it's you know, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Yeah. Ooh, nice, nice. All right. I know where everything else is gonna go, so we can just go on Erasure City here. I don't need that drawing so much anymore because I'm well aware from my background development where elements are going to go. And that is a most wonderful thing. Okay. We're going to try and revive our pretzel login here. Let's see how it does. It appears that we are not in a good spot with pretzel. We gotta see what's happening here. If we can get some cool music. All right, we won't futz too hard. Let's stay with the drawing. Okay, just making sure that those things are touching in a good way. All right, so yeah, so far so good with what we got going on here. Right, elements are happening. It's like a nice cool desert night. So what's really good is, you know, we're the 2-layer system here, and I can now with this automatic item is like come in and you can see I can just select all those things, those 2 cacti. So that's what I'm gonna do here, and we'll isolate them in the space, and you'll see here what we're going to start to do is you know, really kind of play with like the overall skin and feel of these things. And what we'll do is gosh, the flow field here, we're going to use this brush, and what used to take me a long time now we're going to do in a couple of seconds. So we're going to build a short little color palette here, like 4 colors, and I'm going to use it to create like a highlight, 2 midtones, and then a shadow color. And what I like to do is, looking at this base color of the oxblood red, the reason I chose the oxblood red is that it is a great foundation to build up full power color, full saturation color highlights on top, and it will help define the contour and the volume of it. So check it out. It's a pretty neat thing. So let's first go and look at like this nice golden orangey oro right here, which is real nice. And then the flow field brushes on. Let's see what the size is. Way too big, way too big. Okay, so we're going to get something that's a little smaller, that's manageable in this space. And then we're going to start to it's way too many. Yep. And I've got the mask on, so that makes this like a lot easier to do. And yeah, so I'm just going to kind of say that like all this area on the side of the cactus is going to get this highlight color. So I'm laying all this in. All right, and then we'll jump now to the next hue. We're going to try and get it so it's something that's like worth getting to go in here. Let's go to like a orange. Okay, we're going to just... I like going full opacity on this because the cartoon blend is, you know, that's got to work. So if that works out nice, then that's a good start. So this orange I want to have show up like in concert with the yellow That's really the move on it. Okay, cool. All right, and then we'll go to like a, let's go to like a pink, kind of a good pink color. Let's see. Ooh, we might get some tunes. Let's see. Hey, loving it. All right, let's hang on to it while we got it. All right. So you see how now these 4 colors are what is making up all of this. This is the magic. There we go. This is good. And then that last part's going to have like a purplish color. I've got my eyeball on a lilac. That's like a good hue to bring into the mix here, I think. So yeah, so you can see now how this cactus really starts to take shape once it gets its, these colors are in place. Okay, let's go to the next one now. All right, and that's right there. So this is great because it's a split complement. So this color is in harmony with what's going on. Yeah, nice, cool. It's like fire. It starts to just come alive. And it really helps, and because of the dots, these colors are like forced to have just all these interactions, and you really see a lot. You see the full range and power of when dots of color mix on top of a dark hue, just what occurs. And to me, that's amazing. That's amazing. Cool. All right, so that first cactus is done in a nice way, right? I'm feeling like pretty good about it. We got a second one to work on. Today is all about cactus and practice. So let's get back to the yellow brush. I'm gonna actually use like a brush that's like it's brighter than that, just to now give this like a highlight. You can see we can just stack the elements on top. This works so nicely. Cool. Go right here with that. All right, cool. So we're starting to now get like a body to it, which is really, really nice. Cool. Okay, and then yeah, we can try the other one here. Let's get this other. Well, actually, let's just finish this cactus out. Yeah. All right, we're gonna slide all the way to a darker color here, and then we're gonna use the soft brush. Actually, let's go Melaleuca. Okay, and I want blue, darkish blue. Okay, good. All right, and now I want to come in and start to. Even though I just painted all this, I know is I want a shadow on it. Okay. You're probably like, Mike, but why? Okay, cool. So I'm just adding this kind of body shadow to all this. I'm gonna put a little bit on this side too. Here, let me get this tinier here. This side needs it. Cool. Reason is, like, I don't want to kill all that color, but the reason is that I'm going to add a all these little spines and prickers and all that stuff and everything all coming off of this. So I want to definitely make sure that that's in there. All right, cool. Let's think about now going back to the Flowfield brush, the green. So let's look at some green colors or cool colors that'll sit nicely up on green. So like, I think I'm gonna do like a lime, a teal, and like a baby blue. I think that'll feel real good. We'll try that. So let's go with this like hot lime. That's what we want to use. That like that lime that transitions from yellow, like from the hot to cool. You know, where Roy meets G. Okay, so I'm getting that. These are like pretty simple. We're gonna have to make the stuff like work, yeah, so it fits the whole cactus vibe. Yeah, this one's gonna have like a surrounding where it starts. Excited about that. Okay, all right, cool. Next color, like a real green. Not enough difference, sorry. I need more candy apple. Let's try that. Better. Okay, let's get some sea foam now. This colorway is a little more on the subtle side than the other one. The other one jumps a lot more. So here, let's get this blue in here. That might help like with the differentiation a little bit, but there we go. Yeah, we got some tunes, good tunes today. Cool. Okay, that one I did a lot quicker, but you can see like has a similar kind of stepping colorway. 4, we stick with the rules. Start with the lighter on the left or the right-hand side, right? Our right-hand side on the screen, and then moving over to the other side, and that's how you create the shading pattern so that there's 4 facets of the contour, right? To give it roundness, form, volume, all that stuff. All right, same deal. We're gonna come in. Let's get a dark blue shadow brush in here like this. Skip over to Melaleuca brush, my favorite for textures. And we're gonna use the Melaleuca brush to just, oh, we gotta make it bigger. Bigger, okay, bigger. And yeah, I know, you're like, Mike, you just did all that great work. What's going on? It's still there, it's still there. We're gonna come in and we're gonna use all the little spines and prickers and all that stuff and everything to make these 2 cacti just like really have like a great life. Okay, let's get this down. I'm shading this thing right now because it's really like the prickly pear part that like sinks into the, right, grows out of the eye or an old like spot from the cactus before it, right, the pad before it. And like we said, like this prickly pear is just known here in the US, right? native to like Texas, Southwest area. Saguaro is more Arizona. You can see these in the deserts in the Middle East, right? In Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, right? Saudi Arabia, these are present. I'm not sure they're native there. I think they were brought there early on because it was like the perfect climate to do it. I mean, you can grow prickly pears here in North Carolina. And yeah. Okay, so we're getting this shadow layer in. Okay, and just making sure that, like, you know, more of these other shadows are just doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, this would cast a little bit of a shadow right there for sure. Same with this. So that's what I'm thinking about here with the shading and the shadow. Yeah, just make sure it's all consistent. Sweet. All right, and this gives me like an overall volume feel to it. So we've got the background in, we did a flow field, and I've been working on these masks now for quite some time. So that's what's happening. Y'all, if you're just joining the stream, say what's up in the chat. Mike Worth here, streaming on YouTube this morning. It's a little pop-up stream. Little cactus practice, a little something I like to do, try out new techniques and things, show off what I'm doing with Procreate, and you know, interact with y'all. So yeah, say what's up. We appreciate you. All right, and yeah, we got more to do this. We're working high res, so we got to keep it in 2 layers for the most part. So that's what we're working with here today. That's all right. Oh, and then what was the other thing I wanted to do with the flow field that I didn't do on this little one was to get go back to that hot lime and get like a really bright version of it, and then just drop a couple of highlight spots into what's happening here. Wouldn't get too much here. Spattered. Yeah, you'll see I'm going to bring in the little spines and all that stuff real soon, so that's going to be great. Really great. All right, so now we want to start to think about these are looking good. I'm really excited about this. All right, I might bathe all of this in like yellow light. Here, let's get a soft brush now, the soft brush that I like to use here, and then punch up its intensity somewhat, make its size real big, and then just start to touch in. You can see I got this yellow, soft yellow light here. I'll make it too big. There we go. Cool. I love doing this. This is so much fun. All right, one on this side, and then we go to now the orange side. Okay, and then so much. Do some pink here. Too much. All right, whip it to purple. We're going to come on this side, and you'll see now, like, here's how now this is like starting to, we're creating here what's called a glory. So a glory is something that appears, it's like a natural light phenomena that appears on things. And it kind of produces this like too much. This like rainbow halo effect. And I tried this once on a project, and I was just like, yes, it just was incredible. So it blew me away. So I said, I'm doing that on things going forward. Okay, and then round it up with the green. because that green would naturally mix with the yellow. So, all right, so, and it's already present on there. Good. So when we make stuff like this, it now has this kind of like, you know, really opulent kind of glow. It's really kind of funky cool. So anyway, appreciate that. That's a really fun thing. And then we might just grab now my shine, my flare, and go to like the hot yellow. Okay, and I think now at this point we can turn off the selection, so we can now see what this looks like without that selection kind of running the whole time. But there's the cacti, right? I got them now in the space. It's looking good, looking good. All right, I actually might reselect that because I don't. Before I just let these go, I'm gonna just play just a touch of shadow. Where's the Melaleuca? Here it is. Okay. So just want to bring some of this back. Okay. It just helps with the overall form. Like when you spray that bright color, like I got to learn to tint it, I guess, a little bit better, but it starts to lose, gets a little too dreamy and starts to lose the form. Okay. Tweet. So just bringing a little bit of shadow back to the edge just helps out with the definition of these things, right? Especially, let's see, yeah, especially here. Like, see how there's that contrast is kind of low, so I need to make sure that that's something that's strong. What I can also do in this space also is go back to that background layer and grab this soft brush, and I can just use this to help differentiate the background somewhat, like just putting some of this shadow behind. It's all intense, but yeah, I mean, it's totally fake, but you can even see it helps gather somewhat of like what's happening in the space itself. Yeah. Yep. So I'm just kind of tinting areas just to help with that, punching out that background. It's, you know, if I zoom out, that gives me a real feel of like, well, what can I see that? Can I see like what's actually happening in that space? And sometimes that's a no. Okay, cool. And then now what we can do and spend some time on is we can make the spines and the little prickers on there. And I'm going to use this Victor brush here because it's like a nice wispy, multi kind of brush. And I have it like on real light correction, so it's going to be really wispy and fun. So let's make sure we're on this top layer, okay, and then, all right, we can see pow, pow, pow. Nice. So I'm not going to go crazy and draw like every spine and pricker that there is, but like I got to know that if I'm looking at a pricker from the side, that it's going to be longer because it's extending out. And if I'm looking at it head on, well, it might be like that, you know, where like one's pointing right at me and I can't see it past a certain point. And yeah, that's just something I got to think about as I start to maneuver these across, right? This might look like real short prickers over here because it's pointing like directly at me, whereas these get longer and do their thing, right? I really want to isolate the yellow prickers to like right here. I don't want to go too far on them. These are really great. Okay. Yeah, so it's fun with this stuff, really trying to like just figure out how this all goes. Look at how crazy these are. These are super fun. These are like my cactus. This is what I do when I'm trying to come up with like funky and fun ways to to do this kind of thing. I mean, it's just how it goes. So yeah. All right, we're coming up just on the hour mark. Woohoo! Welcome everybody. Drop a hello in the chat if you can. Say what's up. Right, check out all the links and stuff. Today we are working on some cactus practice. We got some fun stuff going on here. So yes. Say hello in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Give me a subscription, right? Join 5,000 of your other friends who are loving what we got going on here with the streams and the work and all that stuff and everything. Good deal. So I am Mike Worth, right? Illustrator, muralist, graphic designer, dad, all that good stuff. Scorpio. So we're working on this thing and just having fun with, creating these spines. Right now I've got my brush loaded yellow, so I'm just going to kind of go for what this needs. And yeah, I love this brush, this Victor brush. I'm doing them in like chunks of 3s. It's just nice. It's just what I have done over the years, and it's acceptable. Okay, I'm starting to get down in that territory now of not that color. So I want to think about like what colors I want to use on some of these other spines and prickers and all that stuff and everything that go onto the cactus. But these little hot lines and stuff look really nice against the soft and Flowfield layering, glazing aesthetic that I got going on. I'm really liking that. So yeah, we're gonna keep playing. Let's get some orange now, right? It's like the prickers are also a part of the pattern. They are also a way to show contour and outline and all that stuff. So I'm totally gonna take advantage of them and use them in the way that makes sense here with the project. Yeah, super fun. So what's up? Where my artists at out there, friends, thank you guys so much for being with us on the stream. Having fun, been enjoying doing this. Do this for a living, teaching and, sharing my screen and walking folks through things. And it's awesome. It's so nice now that this is like everyday life, everyday something that we get to do. So I'm feeling pretty lucky that that's what's going on. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to keep pumping the content while I got the passion and the wherewithal and all that stuff and everything and the ability. So appreciate you guys for jumping in and being with me on the journey. That's pretty rad. All right, so we're just identifying areas now that need some of the prickers, right? And again, we want to make it so that like these things are supporting what's going on with the color underneath, right? That it's in succession, rather. Sorry, not supporting, but in succession. So we started off with the yellow, and then we're going to go to the orange, and then we're going to just like flow around the cactus, getting the different things that we need in there. Okay, we're switching now the color to pink, and we're going to use that pink like this, so you see, and then it'll look nice. It's going to help us start to define more of this area, right? Like I said, like the short ones are ones that like are closer to us, but then as we get over to this side, they start to get longer, and that's what we really like, right? It helps us like trace out that form. Yeah, I love that hot color against the faded, muted, darker stuff. I mean, that's just where the magic's at, y'all. That's what I'm saying. I'm just shifting back to the orange here real quick, because it seems like now that these colors are all next to each other, should have the blend going on. And I always resist because I don't want to make too many, but when I'm zoomed in like that and I see it, I'm like, oh, got to do something about that. Got to make that proper. Sweet, 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 sweet. I love doing these cactus. Pretty soon I'm going to be doing a cactus downstairs in my studio. We're going to be switching from the digital to an in real life, an IRL stream. Next week, most likely, we're going to do like a little test down there in my studio space, so we can rest assured that the equipment and the technology and all that stuff's going to work down there. Okay, so we're gonna set up versus my art space that I'm in here now, my super art wall, my collection. All right, some of my collection. I got some art from my favorite artists in the Charlotte Southeast regional area and beyond. Folks I've met over the years, folks I've worked with, collaborated, just friends, family. So I like to have those pieces that are going to be something I keep long term and that are really meaningful to me. All right, I got some goodies. I got some prints even from some former students and printmaker friends. And yeah, I like the goodies. It's just all about the goodies. Okay. I might need to make like a pricker brush. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little impatient here. I should slow it down, but I want that to get that sense of that feel of the form. I'd hate to rush it, but we're streaming. Okay. All right. Now we're going to skip to this lilac color, and the lilac color is going to be the prickers on the far side. You'll see that's going to be pretty cool. It just like it adds a little bit of. We actually might go a little on the darker side with this purple, just to let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it was too bright, these would not look like Dark Side of the Moon shadow prickers, as which they are. Cool. So now you can see I use those to like pop off of the edge and then to blend into the pink and the orange, so that now that rounded flow part is really clear and established. Yeah, dip it. I love some techno, just random keyboard jams, but it's all about the beat. All right. We're cooking on this. This is some real deal. I mean, we're getting all this cactus work done. This is going to be a great piece. You know, I'm excited to be getting so much work up and available for sale. So that's my goal with this, is that once I'm done, is I'm going to upload this to my web store and get my high-res image here that I'm making ready to be affixed onto a canvas, and then yeah, I'll drop a card in here, and y'all will then be able to buy this piece on canvas if you're like absolutely digging it. I got some cactus fans. My cactuses sell fast. It's like a very happy thing. I think people really love cacti, and especially ones that are like super weird and funky. I get a lot of fans or notes from folks who say they're fans, and they love a certain kind of cactus, or where they're from, that cactus is native, and they go pretty fast. Yeah, I just sold a cactus not too long ago. That's why I'm doing another in real life, because I had this one up in a brewery, and yeah, now it's It's in someone's house. So that's pretty awesome. I was like really stoked. It's awesome when you sell some art. And that one's no exception. That piece was doing a cactus piece like that. I did it all with spray paint, all single stroke hand type thing. It was, a real labor of love. Okay, I'm gonna do some light blue ones just because I'm feeling kind of funky. Oh, that's nice. As long as they're like near adjacent colors, it works. Like it's not wild to say, oh, well, there's blue prickers on here, because there's colors that are native and near that would support it. That would have it make sense. It's like, oh, well, that doesn't look so strange because, oh, I see green, I see a little bit of purple, other cool colors, right? Makes it so it's like, yeah, he's one of us. Yeah, cool, right, kind of thing. So that's why I use the kind of connecting colors in there. Ooh, look at that. We did real good on those prickers, right? You get in there real tight. You can see we've got lots of good strokes going on in there. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Really excited to buy this. And then, yeah, we can get started on the other one. Oy vey. Yeah, there's a lot of detail going on. So I'm going to take a break from detail because I'm getting a little tired of it. And I'm going to go over to now Flowfield Brush Shader. And I'm going to start to look for like a kind of a neutral brown, like a dark yellow brown. And I'm going to use that to start to lay down now this stuff, which is going to be the Flowfield, because I have to mix blue and yellow, right, which are split complements. So like they're gonna they're gonna vibrate and buzz and clash in a way. Not as bad as blue and orange, but what this does is the neutral is the color that they're going to be turning into. So if I just present those two colors together in a space, it's going to happen in your eye on the canvas. So what this does is it happens on the canvas already. And it really helps, I found, is to like lay down a little neutral kind of energy field around some of these elements. Let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Oh, bummer. Man, keep doing that. This is a background thing, so I need to get this onto the background, not the foreground. It's just important. Okay. One more time. There we go. So these are like this is like the fading energy coming off of the stars and the moon and everything into the sky. And then once I lay it, I thought I was doing it again. Once I lay it in, the yellow in, you're going to see like, oh, there you go, Mike. I get it now. Okay. Because it's a lot of color or a lot high contrast to just throw at folks and be like, yeah. So because I want it in the background, I want that transition to kind of be there, that color step, and that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Doesn't make sense to you? Well, pretty soon it will, once you start trying some of this stuff. Right? I'm showing y'all my style, like the way I lay down the art and the color and all that stuff. And yeah, you can see now how that plays in real nice, and you can come in and just add just some touches, because normally if I do it full blast I have to fade that then, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, all right, just a couple touches. I don't want to do too much, not too much. I might have done too much on that moon, so let's take it back. And then I get a little bit of white. I roll this as close to the center as possible, and then I put like just a little bit of touch of that in the center. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. Nice. So I'm just taking a little break from doing all this. And two, now you can see like the sky is maybe starting to take on, it's a little intense. And with the background still separated, I like to use this let's see, where is it? Where's the, no, I think it's elements. Yep, here we go. There's clouds. So I like to paint like darkish shadow clouds like in the sky. And yeah, here, watch this, like in front of this moon somewhat. And it just like helps put a little bit of a mystery. Or really it lightens the intensity of the there we go. And I'm just kind of vignetting the side. It's a verb now. Vignette, to vignette. There we go. Cool. Okay. So I'm just kind of like painting to tone down some of that intensity, just again to reinforce the elements that are in the front. I want them to really be the stars of the show, right, in this case. And there's so much nice detail in there to help us see that. It's amazing. All right. All right. Now it's we'll do the spines and the prickers on here. Okay. So we're going to switch over to back to Mike's here, and we're going to use that Victor brush again, which is that real small size, and then we're going to go through the motions here of the colors. So let's get that, make that hot lime, right, real small. Cool. Oh, don't. Okay, we're back on the foreground, so let's make sure we're drawing there. Yep, good. I had more rhyme and reason to the last one. This one I'm kind of... Okay. Let's get a Slimer green, Ghostbusters Slimer green on this one. I'm kind of going ham on this one. It's like chop, 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 chop. Okay. I'm using now like a turquoise. Get down here. Yeah, you can see where I stopped there. I'm treating this prickly pear less random, more like in patterns and lines here. I'll fill in with some variation and stuff. I'm just trying to get the pattern down. All right, and then we'll get to this blue. Hard to make out. What I like about this brush is that it like does have just a natural kind of wispiness to it. That's a gnarly one. It's like an old man eyebrow right there. So a bunch missing here. Fade up and in. Cool. Okay, make these a little more rando patterned now, so it's not so uniform, but got it done. Dope. Okay. So that's really enough, is that like those little jagged lines really break the surface on them, right? And like, good deal. Okay. All right. So what else are we going to do on this? Oh, shines. Let's add some shines. Let's do that. Okay, so let's go to the shine brush there. Okay, and then we'll find the shine that kind of matches best. And then we will... Oh, that's a little intense. Cool. It's so over the top. I love it. I love it with the shines. It's crazy. All right. I did okay on the ground part, right, as far as messing with stuff. But here, I'll show you a trick. We get the eraser tool here real fast, and then like let's find something that's like rough, like a really rough brush type of thing. Let's see, like maybe in textures. Yeah, let's look at Dove Lake, right? Let's say full. So with the eraser, oh, let's make sure that one, textures, Dove Lake. Yeah, cool. You can see that's really rough. So full transparency. Watch if I erase that, you can see it like does a nice job of like cutting into it. I'll show you what I mean. So right now it's like super stubby. It just looks like it's kind of in the ground. I mean, not bad, but not great. So what we'll do is like this is we'll start to chop away at this in this fashion. So it looks like the ground is, you know, up and on it, and because it's the natural edge, you know, it looks organic. It works out good. Sweet. Okay, so you can see that bottom is like gorgeous with the way that works. That blends super nice. And I'm using just a textured brush with the eraser instead of a paintbrush. So I'm erasing with a funky brush shape, right? So the removal of that is the important part. I won't do too much on this because this is a prickly pear. It doesn't have a big base like the Saguaro does. Cool. All right, so those are looking real nice. Real nice. Sweet. Okay, so I've got, let's do one cloud that is elements clouds here. That is like a nice puffy kind of whitish cloud here that's like, that might be too much. Yeah, I think so. Ooh, nice. If you touch it, give it enough pressure, it can look mighty real. Okay, I'll put a couple of, nope, no, it's too heavy. Sweet. All right, y'all, I'm really loving this, so I think we might call this done. I haven't done a couple of the other techniques that I usually do, but I've just been like, you know, playing around, just sort of seeing some new techniques. And y'all, appreciate you guys so much hanging with us on the stream. We're clocking here 1 hour, 23 minutes, some cactus practice, right? Check this out, right? Put the play back on. We started off really strong, creating some cacti. We had the saguaro and the prickly pear, and we decided to do a landscape in this one. So we did a sky flow field and then a ground flow field. And the ground flow field, the difference was instead of a circle, we flattened it to be an oblate spheroid, right, like the Earth shape. So by swatching that, it gave us that sense of a flat ground, because that's what would happen is if you took two-dimensional images and you lay them down flat, they squash and stretch like that. Then our cacti, we started to carve this stuff out by using the Flowfields and tinted them up a little bit with some shadow and gave them some real depth and dimension. I mean, all that beautiful colors in there. We added some glory fade, right, some rainbow halo around the edge. And yeah, just got some nighttime elements. And we just went to crazy on adding all those prickers, right? You can just see here, they go, here they start to just show up. I mean, it's just so many, maybe 10,000. I don't know, maybe in total, I think for both cacti. So as you can see, right, starting to manifest. All of those little hot spots of color. I'm putting pure saturated color strokes on top of muted or like lessened colors. And like by doing that, that gives me the power to have those things really pop out and shine, right? And that's a wonderful way to like make that pop. Here comes the lighting effects, right? The Flowfield stars and the Flowfield moon that I add to my piece. That's always a wonderful thing to have. But again, I want it to be a background element, the stars at night, not the whole thing about it. And yeah, that allows me to then finish up by putting the prickers on the prickly pear, and then the shines at the end. And then friends, here, let's bring it back to the main. Let's get our everyday brush from Mike's palette. Boom, get this thing small. Dip it into some pink paint like I would be rocking a marker here right now. And we're just gonna sign this up. And friends, it is always a pleasure to rock with y'all and to just kick it on these live streams, right? Really nice way to open up the studio here and let y'all see what I'm doing and share some of the fun things that I'm doing with Procreate and different softwares and whatnot. So y'all, this has been magical and glorious, and I appreciate y'all. Be good.